Hello, 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 beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hello, Jada. I love you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, Tasha. Hey, little bud. Hello, I love you. I'm trying to wave. Oh no, I turned my. Okay, let me stop. But literally, thank you so much for tuning in. I am going live on my IGTV as well as my YouTube. Both are at The Pink Lady. That is pink spelled with a Y, not with an I, just like my real name. And thank you so much, Jada. My locks, I really love them. Like they're just I love them so much. I think that this has been my favorite thing that I have done to my hair. So thank you for pointing it out because I will see you very soon, okay? I promise. I promise. I will figure it out. I will figure it out. But basically, whether you tuned into the first part of this or not, if you saw the first part of this, I really appreciate you so much for tuning in. Okay, but basically, what is going on here is like I said, am the Pink Lady, and today I have a little bit of a channeled message through books for you guys today. Now, don't get intimidated by that, but I'm in the process of moving. I'm packing up my room. And while I was doing that, I actually was cleaning out my bookshelf. And thank you so much, little bud. Thank you so much for saying my hair looks nice. But I got a channel message through books. Now, in my last live, I talked about how I think knowledge is power, how I think we need to get back reading. Thank you so much for the people that are tuning in on YouTube. Hello. Thank you so much. Like I said, I am on YouTube at The Pink Lady as well as IGTV. So if you see me looking in two different places, that is why. Thank you so much for tuning in, though. This is a very important and channeled message. And what I am going to call this, I love you so much, is cheat code. That is the title for this live, and this is the first cheat code. Hello, thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, so basically I have a channel message through books that I was cleaning out of my closet on my closet shelf. Now, I literally only have little bits of them from each, but then I pulled some oracle cards to kind of help explain and wrap things up. But basically what I wanted to talk about today, I wanted to talk to you guys today because I've been feeling a little anxious. Hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. But I've been feeling excuse me, guys. I've been feeling a little anxious just with the state of the world and what we're going through currently, and I just feel like there's a lot of I love you so much, little butt. We are sisters, okay? I am pretty, you're pretty, I love you so much. My little sister is watching this IGTV, guys. So everybody say hello to my little sister. But basically what I'm here to talk to you guys about today is the channel messages that I got through these books. And the biggest thing that I wanted to focus on more so is just really some proactive way, something that we can actually do, knowledge that is actually applicable, things that we actually can do or incorporate in our everyday lives to help us during these times. In my last reading, like I said, I think we need to get back to reading, and especially reading about ways that societies in the past have dealt with things or have dealt with situations or times like what we're going through right now before, because history has a cycle, and history has unfortunately, but fortunately in a way, been repeating itself. But with that being said, our history has a lot to teach us. I feel like our ancestors have a lot to teach us. Okay, that is my heart chakra bell, baby. But with that being said, and I also have to say something about my plant. My mom got me this plant because she says that it reminded her of me. And so now I just keep it like around me all the time because she has like pink, like you see, this is so pretty. Okay. So anyways, on to the point. But actually, this plant has a lot to do with what we're going to talk about because we are talking about plant medicine. We're talking about healing power, and I am calling out to all of my witches, all of the people that actually like to work with the earth, that like to work their intentional magic in a tangible way. I'm really calling out to you guys in this reading as well. And if you stay tuned, I am going to continue to explain why that's going to make a little sense. But I want to first jump into some of the books, or the books that I did get the channel messages from. Hold up, I want to read a comment on IGTV. Yes, self-education is so important, and I think a way for us to express the way that we feel is very important during these times, because that numbness really does come from our like inability, or like our feeling that like we can't do anything. But we actually have a lot of power. There are actually a lot of things that we can do right now, and a lot of people in a lot of ways are rising to the call, really. But there are so many multiple ways that you can advocate for the rights of the people that deserve it, and especially we're talking about Black lives. Okay, so I think that it is time for us, because we're going to get into it in this reading, but I think one of the biggest things that is hard for Black people specifically to acknowledge is how magical we really are, because a lot of our inherent belief systems were stripped away from us, specifically African Americans. A lot of our inherent belief systems were stripped away from us. Our abilities to practice and speak our own home languages, our abilities to congregate how we wish, was taken away from us, and then we were given this very stripped down white bread version of an amalgamation of beliefs, because that's really what the Bible is. That's not what this conversation's about. Okay, so boom. Black people, I find it to be, I'm trying to use my words specifically, but I find it to be something that is frequent in the Black community that we struggle with, is acknowledging the power of things bigger than us, and things bigger than God, or not God, but things bigger than Christianity, or things or ideas that can explain other aspects of the way certain things function. Now, if you're watching this live, you have to have some sort of belief or trust in intention and love and the universe, and other things other than maybe the monolithic religion we were given when we were stolen and brought to this country. Okay, but I literally am rambling. But one of the things that I want to read from is, like I said, I have a couple of books in front of me. Now, this one is called The Rosicrucian Principles for Home and Business by H. Spencer Lewis, PhD. And I intuitively flipped to chapter 47. I mean, not chapter 47, chapter 4, page 47. And it's the title is Commanding Cosmic Hope. This is it. This is the book. All right. The real mystic knows that he must work through the cosmic. Now, a mystic is somebody that works with magic, or that believes that they have the power to influence their world around them, to interact with their world around them in ways that are not always perceivable, in ways that cause you to have to study or accept the fact that there are multiple things, multiple realities, multiple ideas existing in this world that we all live in at once. So the real mystic knows that he must work through the cosmic and with cosmic law in order to bring about the realization of his conceived and visualized dreams and plans. So the real mystic knows that he must work through the cosmic. Okay. Hello, Unlikely Fox. Thank you so much for tuning in. So you must work through the cosmic and with cosmic law in order to bring about the realization of his or her conceived and visualized dreams and plans. So it's saying someone who truly understands and wants to bring something in manifestation knows that they must go through the spirit, they must go through the cosmic, they must interact with the divine in some sort of way, shape, or form, because that is what truly fortifies an intention. And we're going to talk about intentions a little bit later. So it says, he never forgets the cosmic law, and he never fails to take the cosmic into partnership in all of his plans and desires. But there is a great difference between commanding cosmic help and demanding cosmic help. Thank you so much for your healing. Honestly, truly, your readings have done so much for me. Thank you so much. One may command cosmic help through one's worthiness, sincerity, loyalty, and devotion to cosmic ideals. But one can never demand anything from the cosmic, for the attitude of demanding would immediately preclude any consideration on the part of the cosmic for the wishes and desires of the petitioner. Hello, Brandon. Thank you so much for joining. And so basically what this paragraph just kind of meant to me, and like I said, this came from Rosicrucian Principles for Home and Business. Okay, for Home and Business. I am on IGTV and YouTube by H. Spencer Lewis. But basically what I feel like this is saying is like, in order to create any actual effective change, guys, we need to have a little faith in the powers that exist. I just saw the 11 o'clock. The powers that exist and that are here to help us spiritually. Because especially since we're talking about Black people, guys, like our spirit is so powerful. It is literally the thing that brought me here to speak to you guys. Like the fact that I am here is a testament to the strength of spirit and the spirits that I come from. You feel me? Okay, so we need to interact with the divine in order to make a lot of the changes that we want to see that is going on in our lives, even our ability to manifest certain things. We have so much power together. And I feel like I was saying earlier, if we as a people, as a community, we're more willing to talk about some of these ideas and some of these things that I'm going to talk about in this reading, I think it can be really helpful. And I want to try to start some type of conversation about this. And I want to do it in an informed way. And that is why I am taking excerpts from books that I have just in my room. So these are also books that I am recommending to you guys. So the next book the next excerpt that I'm going to read is from the book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Superheroes, Harnessing Our Power to the World. And it's by Deepak Chopra. This is the book. This is the book. Okay. So I intuitively flipped to chapter 6, and it's the law of intention. And I find this picture so powerful. The law of intention. God is so powerful. Like, oh my God, thank you to the whole divine and my whole spirit team for this reading, because this really did a lot for me. Like I said, I was feeling really anxious earlier, and pulling cards always gives me some sort of peace of mind. And I always, if I find clarity in it, I feel like by sharing it, someone else can find clarity in it. And I that brings me peace. So thank you to everyone that is watching. I really do love you. Okay. So the law of intention, it says intention is I want to see if I can read this and show you guys at the same time. I sure can. Intention is the fundamental impulse that activates all action. As such, the law of intention is the activating principle behind all other laws, not distracted by the clutter and the cacophony of their own emotions or those of the world itself. Superheroes are able to tap into a collective intelligence that reveals itself through confidence, precision, integrity, radiant energy, and charisma. Okay, thank you so much, Brandon. So like I said, we are talking about the law of intention, because I feel like intention has the power of intention can truly help us right now. And like I said, I really am calling on all my magic babes and babies, okay, on my little kitchen witches, okay, on my rich bitch energies, okay. We need all the people that do believe in magic and the divine to come together, because we need to come together, because we can do work in all realms and get this shit done, baby. We have so much power. Okay. So, the next excerpt from this book is on page 119, and it says this. So in the beginning of this excerpt, his son was basically comparing him to Doctor Strange, I believe. And he was just musing on that idea and trying to figure out like what his relationship to that character was. So it says, even after Gotham's retelling us of the origins of Doctor Strange, and I love that this is about like superheroes and stuff like that, because I'm all about that shit. Hi, Sydney. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you so much. Okay. So, even after Gotham's retellings of the origin of Doctor Strange, I was still not sure how to take his analogy to me, as in his son comparing him to that character. I do confess that my own journey into the fields of medicine, science, mysticism, human potential, and most important, the exploration of consciousness has been an extraordinary adventure. Okay. My understanding of the deeper mechanics of consciousness is plucked from dozens of sources, from ancient Indian Vedanta to modern quantum physics. My curiosity about the nature of the universe and our connection to it has burned inside of me for as long as I can remember. I love you guys so much. It's why I entered this field of medicine to begin with, and also why I left. All my life, I lived by Einstein's credo. I want to know how God thinks. Everything else is a detail. And at times I felt on the cusp of revelation akin to that of my idols, the Sufi poet Rumi, who says, I've lived on the lip of insanity, wanting to know reasons. The door opens. I've been knocking from the inside. I'm going to read that last sentence again. This is from Rumi. He's a Sufi poet. If you don't know who Rumi is, please look up his poetry. It's honestly like, it is beautiful. I want to get a Rumi oracle deck. Okay. So he says, I've lived on the lip of insanity. Insanity. I have lived on the lip of insanity, wanting to know reasons. The door opens. I have been knocking from the inside. Okay, let me tell you guys why that was so powerful to me and what this even has to do, because we are well into it. And I do have, like I said, a couple more books that I want to share with you guys, because like I said, knowledge is power. I feel like we need to get and reconnect back into reading. And I was cleaning out my books, and I started getting all of these channel messages. I just started flipping to pages, literally just like flipping to them, and everything just connected. So I was like, I have to share this with other people, because this helped me so much. So the whole reason, what started this pool reading and why I'm talking to you guys today actually came from my Flower Essences. It's an illustrated guide by Carol Rudd. This is an amazing book. A lot of these books I thrifted, but I'm sure you can find them like online somewhere. But basically, I just prayed to God and Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron, and I basically just prayed for a insight or herb that we could use, or an herb that would be or could be important to us right now. And the thing that I love about this book is it kind of ties in the metaphysical or spiritual ideas of certain things, and each plant has like an affirmation and like keywords and stuff with it. So I think that's really beautiful. And so what I turned to, like I said, this is Flower Essences by Carol Rudd, an illustrated guide. This is what it looks like. Okay, I'm on page 30, and it's Menzies Banksia. Menzies Banksia. Menzies Banksia. This is what it looks like. I'm trying to show you guys. That is what it looks like. Okie dokie. So I'm going to read the affirmation for this card. And I also I just have to say, can we look at the picture that came up for this? Come on, Spirit. Come on, Spirit. Like I said, we're talking about Black lives. We're talking about, because that's what I have been constantly thinking about for quite a while, but especially now, because literally, like, what's going on in the world, it has really made me just question a lot, and for a lot of reasons, just because I cannot find comfort in living in this perpetual hamster wheel. Hello, Jupiter Official. Thank you so much for joining. I can't find comfort in this perpetual hamster wheel. I need to find some sort of way for me to actively make some sort of effort or contribution, because 20 years from now, this shit can't keep happening. This shit should not still be happening. Okay. So the herb that came out, look at the picture. Look at the picture that came with the herb. And fire, the catalyst of fire, things burning has so much to do with this plant. And let me just get into it. So the affirmation for this says, I am free from past hurt and ready to meet my future. I need some water. I need some water. I am free from my past hurt and ready to meet my future. Okay, so it says, I'm going to read the therapeutic actions, the keywords, and the challenge for this plant. Okay. So the therapeutic actions for Menzies Banksia, mind you, the spelling is Menzies, Banksia, Banksia. Okay, boop. The signature name for this, or like the signature saying for this plant, is triumph over disaster leads to renewed energy. Triumph over disaster leads to what? Renewed energy. Okay. The therapeutic actions for this plant helps us to let go of past hurt in relationships and to find a new future with faith. On the physical level, it temporarily helps soothe intense, localized pain in muscle and soft tissue. So anyone who actually wants to go and get Menzies Banksia, this essence, this flower essence, this plant essence, and in this book, it also talks about how to actually make the essence, how to use the combination, best supportive techniques. Okay, right. Perfect timing, right? Perfect timing. So like I said, we're going to go back. On the physical level, what can this plant do? It can temporarily help soothe intense, localized pain in the muscle and soft tissue. Okay, helps to keep the body relaxed when you anticipate future pain. Helps to keep the body relaxed. Okay, when you expect to anticipate future pain because of past experiences. For back pain, it can be rubbed on the outer ear with a Q-tip that has been dipped in the stock essence. Okay. Keywords for Menzies Banksia is, this is a positive, courage to release pain and to move ahead triumphantly. The negative is painful disappointment, deeply held body tension, fear of repeating the same experience. Okay. The challenge that this plant has is to release tension that keeps the body and the mind from moving forward freely. And I want to talk to you guys. Like I said, burning has a lot to do with this. Fire, destruction has a lot to do with this plant. And I think that that's very interestingly, extremely timely right now, because I think a lot of people have a lot of choice words about what's going on right now as far as the rioting, the looting, the protesting, and all of that. And I really implore you, anyone who feels some type of way, to study the Tower card in the tarot, especially since you're watching this. Really study the Tower card, and then let me know what you think about the people that are acting or responding in a way, to me, my dad taught me, if somebody smacked me in my fucking face, especially 500 times, I think I have the right to smack your ass back. Okay. So the habitat and growth pattern for Menzies Banksia is this, okay? Bushfires can be extremely dangerous in Australia, often dimming the sun as far as 1,000 miles away in New Zealand. The trees need to be able to live with fire. These trees can live with fire. Okay. In fact, the tough wooden seed pods stay tightly shut until the heat of a bushfire bursts them open. The seeds for these trees aren't even released until the trees are burned and scorched. This then throws the seeds into newly laid ash to await the first rains. So this destruction of these trees literally helps fertilize all of the earth around them. Because with the burning, the trees actually need to be burned to produce more life from the ashes. Oh my God, this is giving me Phoenix energy. It says, therefore, the Menzies Banksia species thrives on past misfortunes. Like I said, knowledge is power. Flower essences, Carol Rudd. Okay. So, like I said, I pulled some sorry, you guys, my throat is hurting. Okay. So, like I said, I pulled some cards, and then I literally have like 8 books in front of me. So I'm going to read from the Celestine Prophecy. I'm going to read from my runes book. I have a crystal some crystals I can recommend for us to keep on us during this time for us to use. And I actually, I got this book when I was a freshman in college. It's called Visions and Ciphers, and I actually got a channel message from this too, and it was very accurately, poignantly. So yeah, but let's talk about the cards, because that is something that I want to get into before this video gets too long. Okay. Ooh, excuse me, guys. So what I pulled from this, because like I said, we're talking about Menzies Banksia, that plant specifically, and I asked Spirit from my Witch's Wisdom Oracle deck. I said, Spirit, okay, boom. Spirit, boom. What can we do? What should we be doing during this time with Menzies Banksia? How can this help us? How can this herb most support us during this time? And 4 cards popped out. Magic, Security, Shadow, Power came out. The first 2 cards that came out were Magic and Security. This is Candles and Witches, Witch's Cottage. So these 2 cards are talking about the literal act of magic. Like I said, I am calling on all, okay? All of the people that actually believe in practicing magic. Take a look at Menzies Banksia. Thank you. Please. Okay. So I see a need, because like we were talking about with intention earlier, I want to read actually one more thing from this book that I found quite powerful. So this is from, like I said, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Superheroes, Harnessing Our Power to Change the World by Deepak Chopra. Intention is the fundamental impulse that activates all action. Okay. And this is from page 119. Everything in nature is made up of energy and information, from a tree to a flower to a drop of rain to a dolphin or to even a human being. What differentiates all of these things is the organization of that energy and information. Embedded in intention, embedded in intention, okay, is the organizing principle that activates differentiation. Okay, and he's gonna kind of break it down. All right, period. Let's see. It says, in other words, what separates you from a tree or a dolphin is not the substance of your being, okay, which is actually made up of the exact same oxygen, hydrogen, carbon, and nitrogen that make up everything. We are so connected, guys. Okay. But rather the way those elements have been constructed and the catalyst that ignited that construction, which is intent. I am going to read this last sentence again. In other words, what separates you from a tree or dolphin is not the substance of your being, which is actually made up of the exact same oxygen, hydrogen, carbon, and nitrogen that make up everything, but rather the way those elements have been constructed and the catalyst that ignited that construction, which is intent. What also differentiates you from everything else in nature is awareness. We as human beings in this world, with all the freedoms of this reality that we have been afforded, we have a duty to be aware.